so much. Our next speaker, he didn't disappear. He was standing here last time presenting. His speech was evaluated. He went back, he refined his speech, and he will be evaluated by Stefan. Stefan, please share with us, how are you going to evaluate his speech again?
Toastmaster. Okay. The purpose of the project is for the member to learn to review basic methods of writing a speech with a defined purpose, and present a well-organized speech on any topic. The member completing this project is working to write a speech on a purpose, with a speech with a purpose, and the speech they create must be well written and clearly focused. The goal is to meet their expressed purpose statement. Now, I couldn't find a purpose statement on the evaluation form, but it needs to be a well executed speech, and it must it's for writing a speech with, and it must have a defined purpose. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much. Tiro, please puff yourself.
So the time for the speech is 5 to 7 minutes.
Puff yourself. Please help me to welcome Tiro with the speech title, My Journey to Toastmaster. My Journey to Toastmaster, Tiro Mmusinyane.
Ladies and gentlemen, how many of you here remember your grade 2? Just to jog your memory, most of you all probably called it standard something. Before, all you old heads start doing your maths on how to convert grade 2 to standard, I'd like to take you to when I was in grade 2. I was about this height, bald-headed, and, fresh at life. I remember every 2 months or so, we used to have this thing called unprepared speeches. And they used to go in order by your surname. I remember we used to sit also row by row per surname. So, usually you get up, go to the front, do your speech. Now I used to sit at the back with the M's. Right? I was like the last MM. My surname. So when I looked to my left, because that's where all my classmates were, they'd be scared. Most holding their books up, till the knuckles were white, just trying to hide. I don't know hiding why, because you're going to get called out. And then there was just me in the corner, leaning back in my chair, rocking. I used to get in trouble a lot for that. I was confident. One thing about me, I was confident. I never had a problem going up and giving a speech. Unprepared speeches were my favorite, actually. As a young person, I just like talking. So this is just me in my natural habitat. This is me in my natural habitat. My love for talking carried on from grade 2, grade 3, and then grade 4 was a little turn. That's when the body starts changing, and I got hit by a thing called anxiety. I became very anxious. I remember being even going to getting medical help for my anxiety. Had to take a few months off of school, and I was at some center working on that. After that, my parents shifted me to homeschooling because I couldn't handle being in a big room with 30 kids. I would get very anxious. I just couldn't. So started homeschooling. The thing about homeschooling is that there's this little stereotype that students that do homeschooling are scared to talk. They become social rejects, And to be honest, that stereotype fits. I started losing my love for talking. I became very shy. Even at home, started keeping to myself in my room. Around family members, these big family gatherings. Hi, the common questions. How have you been? What are you doing? I kept it short, simple. Hi, and I'm good. And I was out. yeah. So homeschooling lasted 4 years. I was there for 4 or 5 years, and every year my social skills just kept declining. Got worse and worse and worse. Now I went to varsity last year, first year, and first ever lecture, the guy stood up there and told us, by the way I do my lectures, I like an interactive class. You know, it's not just gonna be me standing up here and talking. I want feedback. I want you guys to ask questions. And I remember shaking, just like my grade 1 classmates. I was the one now shaking. I'm scared, like hiding behind the books so I don't get called upon. Because, like I said, very scared of talking. I was very shy. And then I realized this isn't the way, you know, because I love talking. So where did this love go? Like, why am I allowing my feelings, my anxiety to hold me back when I love talking? So yeah, I approached my mom because I knew Momsy every Monday she's always out, you know, with her adult crutch. She's like, what should I do? You know? And I remember back then, my mom wasn't like her level of English wasn't the best. Because we just moved from different thing here. But then when I look back at it, from then until now, she can talk, you know. Even though, you know, here and there she still gets hit by the he, she's, all probably heard her. She sucks at that. But then from then, you know, she only got better where I got worse. Not a competition, but just an observation. So I approached her and I was like, Mom, here's the truth. I can't speak no more, you know. Please help me. And she's like, okay, join me, you know.
Oh.
I came, you know, and I watched, and I remember when I first started visiting, it was table topics. I remember, it was not Lynette, Anshin who was doing table topics that day, and I was so scared. I'm like, this lady's gonna pick me. I can just feel it. And she did. You know, she did. And I remember I got on stage. I was afraid, but I spoke, and I had a good time doing it. You know, I really enjoyed it, and I fell in love with speaking again. So my journey with Toastmasters is I want that love, like, fully. You know, I want to be able to go up on stage, talk, you know, be in front of my peers, talk, even in my lecture halls, you know, if I need to answer something, as much as, however wrong I am, have the confidence to stand up and be like, yo, this, and this. Yes. So that is my journey with Toastmasters. I genuinely hope that my love for talking comes back and I lose this little anxiety. I know I probably won't lose it fully, but kick it out as much as I can. Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much, Tiro, for being brave again and standing here. Thank you. And your speech was, you didn't even have notes, I was worried. But Nozuko told me to leave him alone, and Peter is handling him. So I was a bit worried. Exactly. Thank you very much.
Well done, Mommy.